Hey everybody, hope y'all are as excited as I am. We're about to be through with this week. We're almost there, folks. So we are still talking about linear, quadratic, and exponential things, but now we're going to put them together. So y'all, if you look, now all of a sudden we've got a quadratic and a linear graphed on the same line acting as a system. So we're going to start to talk about those. So, systems of equations. It's two or more equations that share the same variables. Okay. Now, y'all, when we did our systems unit, typically we were dealing with two linears, so you would have two lines crossing. Y'all, if one of these is a quadratic and one's a linear, don't panic. The answer is still where they intersect. It's just now there might be more than one solution. Okay? So let's write this down. The solution to a system is an ordered pair that satisfies both equations. An ordered pair that satisfies both equations. And it's also where these two graphs intersect. Okay. Note, there can be more than one solution. In this case, there's going to be two solutions. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss how to find these solutions. Okay. Now, I know the easy way to find them, the way you like, is you're going to find where they intersect, and you're just going to write that ordered pair. Okay, so this ordered pair is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0, comma 7. Okay, so that's one of your answers. And then your other answer is here, and that's going to be negative 3. Negative 3, 4. Now, I need to show you something because it's going to require you to do this in the work you're going to do. How do I prove this? Well, what I do is I plug these in to each equation, and I should get my y value in both of them. So, in other words, if I want to check these, I should plug the negative 3 in for this x, and I should get a 4 when I put that in the calculator. I should plug a negative 3 in here and get a 4. Okay, so let's just check that out. So for this one, it would be blank squared plus 4 blank plus 7. This one would be blank plus 7. So if I'm testing this ordered pair to see if it's a solution, I'm going to plug in the x. Okay. So parentheses, negative 3 squared plus 4. It's going to be multiplied by negative 3, add 7. Okay, notice my answer is 4. Well, y'all, that should make sense. I plug in a 3, I get a 4. Now it's got to satisfy the second equation. I plug in a negative 3, combine those, I get a 4. So it satisfies both equations, so this is a solution to the system. Okay, we do the same thing for this one. So let's do this one. I'm going to plug this in. So it should be blank squared plus 4 blank plus 7. And then I'm going to plug it in here, blank plus 7. We're going to plug in a 0. So here that's a 0, that's a 0. So it gives me a 7. 0 plus 7 gives me a 7, and notice when I put in a 0, I get out a 7 in both of these. So it satisfies both equations. So that means that it is also a solution to the system. Okie dokie. All right, let's just try a couple more examples and we'll be ready to roll. Okay, so notice this is an exponential here. Okay, that's an exponential. And this is a linear, and there's a linear. And it says use the graph to find the solution. Okay, well, in this case, it only crosses one time, right there. Well, what's that ordered pair? Over 1, down 1. So the solution, I'll just write it right here. The solution is 1, negative 1. Now y'all notice it says, how can we check to see if it works? We plug it in. So I'm going to plug it in here, so it's going to be 2 raised to the blank, then subtract 3. And this is going to be negative blank. Okay, well, we're plugging in an x. So let's plug this 1 in. Okay, well, 2 to the first power is just 2. And 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Notice, if I plug in a 1, I get out a negative 1. Notice when I plug in a 1, that equals negative 1. So since it satisfies both equations, this is the solution to my system. Last one for our examples. Again, find the order pairs. Well, y'all, if you look very carefully, notice this is a exponential and a quadratic, and notice it actually crosses in 2 places. Okay? So these look like there's some pretty good numbers here. So it looks like this one is 0, 2 for my intersection. And it looks like this one is negative 1, 1. Okay? Okay, let's double check them. So I'm going to do this one over here. 2 raised to the blank plus 1. This is all as a power. And this is going to be negative blank squared plus 2. So I'm going to plug in zeros. Well, that's just a 1. Well, 2 raised to the first power is just 2. And then that's gone. So I have a 2. So notice when I plug a 0 into both of these, I get a 2 out. So I know that's a solution. Y'all, if one of these didn't work, it would not be a solution. Okay? And then here, let's go ahead and do that over here. So we got 2 to the blank plus 1, and then we got negative blank squared plus 2, and we're going to plug in a negative 1. Okay? Well, when I add those together, I get 0. Anything raised to the 0 power is a 1, or you could put this in your calculator, use a parenthesis. Here, this is a 1. Then it's a negative 1, because I don't do this first, y'all. I do it last. When I square a negative, I get a positive 1, but then there's a negative out front. So that's a negative 1 plus 2 is a 1. Notice in both of these, when I plug in negative 1s, I get 1s. So that is a solution. Okay? Now you are going to do the other side. Notice here, you're actually going to have to plug in and check to see if it's a solution. They don't really give you the graph. Same here, you've got to plug in a 0 and see if you get a 5 in both of these to see if it's a solution. If you notice here, you're going to have to estimate this because this is not in the corner of a box. So just do your best estimating this, and don't forget there's another one. And notice these say, substitute the values in the equations to check them. All right? All right. You guys have a great day.